My first duty station stateside, Ellsworth Air Force Base. My first training entered in on Ellsworth was bomb threat training. I drove all the way to Sioux Falls, we all got loaded up on a bus, went into a field. It was supposed to be a simulated activity, but it wasn't. It was live. And when we're in the secure hut to protect us from what's going to happen on the outside, they opened up the range and there was a dog out there. And I don't know if it was a coyote or a wolf, but it entered in on the range within our scope, and they told me to blow it up, and I wouldn't do it. You know, I'm not going to kill an innocent dog. Not going to do it. I'm not going to kill an innocent child. I'm not going to kill an innocent animal, and that's as far as it's going to go, okay? A child or an animal, I'm not going to kill them. So, you know, I got in trouble, and they, you know, forced my hand on the button that ignited the field and blew up the dog. And we're supposed to stay in the hut for security purposes until the lights go green to saying that, you know, it's okay outside, but I didn't. I locked myself into the changing chamber and I fucking stripped down. I walked the fuck out. And the sky was like all like, you know, like an Etch-a-Sketch. And I just fucking kept walking. And when we were in the hut, and the first time I said, no, I'm not going to push the button. And they said, why? And I said, because, you know, because my beliefs are with Hiawatha. And that's when they forced my hand on the button, and then I just fucking, you know, internal instincts I get the fuck out of there. I got deployed one night. You're not supposed to remember your deployments, I'll tell you. And so here it is, how many years later? And this is why military veterans are classified as mentally ill. We're not mental. We are fed nerve relaxing agents on the way in, and we are fed other agents on the way out to forget what we just did. In the time and space between what we were fed is supposed to be monitored and watched by the VA, especially if you get out of the military. If you're in the military, you're supposed to be monitored by your internal people because they know what they do to you. So I get deployed. I get not even a 1-day window notice, okay? I got to sign off my parental rights temporarily under a guardianship of my daughter, Amanda, okay? I get deployed. It's like 2 o'clock in the fucking morning. I get picked up by an unmarked vehicle, black canvas fucking window, so I can't see where the fuck I'm going. While I'm in the vehicle, I get my first round of fucking drugs, okay? It's a nerve relaxing agent. Then when you get to the site, they let it almost like your consciousness has to check in first. Then you get your assignment because you don't know what the fuck you're doing until you get there. They got fucking missile silos throughout this fucking country. This is the shit that bothers people that have been in the military, okay? You know internally something's fucking so fucked up. They took all these military bases down. There's fucking ancient old fucking missiles with ancient old fucking explosives hidden in the ground. They're digging fucking pipelines everywhere. Those fucking explosives have enough fucking amp on them to fucking wipe out the whole fucking country, if not Canada too. But the military lost track of that shit. So my fucking assignment that night was I had to pick up my gear, which was a box. I had to go climb down into this missile silo that was fucking abandoned. They didn't even have it on their fucking books. I had to assess with whatever communication I could underground and communicate out describe the fucking missile. Then I had to wait for them to find it, look it up, because somebody had already fucking activated it, fucking around in a fucking command center. And I had to enter in the deactivation code. That was my fucking little deployment. If I didn't enter in the code in a specific time, like a huge fucking section of the United States would have been fucking gone back then. And enlisted military personnel get money only two fucking ways. Either you retire or you have been on some life-saving fucking adventure. And based on the number of rings from that missile and the amount of people they estimated it as 2 rings. You get like $100,000 for 2 rings for the remainder of your life once you get out. That's like your retirement. Unless somebody fucking broaches that fucking life-saving fucking shit you did and take the money in-house all to themselves and create little fucking crafty governments. This is why military personnel struggle. Veterans. It's because we already know we did something and we were drugged up on the way in, drugged up on the way out, and the time frame in which it fucking wears off is supposed to be monitored internally if you're still active or externally by the VA if you're inactive. But it doesn't work that way. They classify you as mental and crazy like my fucking family did. And they destroy your life. Ha ha, laugh, laugh. Here's the biggest fucking laugh for you people. You took down all those military bases. So there is really no internal fucking security in this country. You fucking messed up all your fucking books so you don't know where all the shit is that you did from all those previous fucking time frames. Do you know how many missiles are fucking buried in the United States? Unmaintained. They don't even fucking have them on books anywhere. And even if they did locate them, to find the codes to decode those, if they're ever activated, and then you bring all these people over here to restructure the land under fucking governors like Cuomo. You're ripping up all the fucking land, taking layer by layer by layer, but you don't know what the military already buried in this fucking land. And you want to call me crazy? And then you're standing around fucking doing nothing. You're not making any fucking noise in the right fucking direction, demanding to know what the fuck is going on. But it's all a game. And then I get fucking washed down by some fucking, bisexual neighbor making fucking dog complaints on my dogs. I lived 4 years in that fucking house with my dogs. We survived. You made multi-million dollars off of a below zero with Paul Walker. Now, if that ain't fucked up, you're willing to pay the box office for the fucking story. But the real people that are going through the same fucking thing that they're putting on that screen, you ain't doing nothing about it. That's fucked up. This country's in such a fucking mess. Calling me crazy. Was that you, Tony, Kimmy, Lissa, Jeff Truex and your fucking... Ugh, that fucking community, man. Was that you? Did you save somebody, a group of people on a fucking Richter scale? Was that you?